The following is a feature presentation of SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network.
From the moment this season kicked off, the Cincinnati Bengals maintained a stranglehold on this division. They had a bit of a fight alongside Cleveland and Baltimore for a few weeks, but after dethroning the Cleveland Browns and ending their winless streak, they have been the sole possessing team for first place in the AFC North. And now they have a chance to clinch it with a win today. But they face a familiar opponent, the Cleveland Browns, who want to maintain their own position in the playoffs and potentially win that AFC North crown for themselves. And this is gonna be a good one. Welcome everybody to the first of our Week 16 Games of the Week here on SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network. Hello everybody, I am your host and broadcaster, Joe. 3 weeks. That is how long we have left in this season. And before we even get to the end of the season, may I just say this has been a phenomenal season to go through with all of you. From start to end, from blowout wins to extremely close games, it's been a ride. And I have been loving it, and I hope you guys have been enjoying it as well. We've had some hiccups. That's certainly the case, but I think for everything that we've done here, it has been a wonder sitting here with you all. But we are not done with this season yet. Not by a long shot. We still got 3 games left for each team in the season. And, of course, we still got the playoffs to go through, including that coveted Super Bowl 59. Who's going to get there? No idea. One team that's a favorite to get there is the Cincinnati Bengals, the only team in the league with 1 loss. And that is saying something, considering there's some good talent in this league. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens have 4 losses. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have 4 losses. Brock Purdy and the 49ers have 3 losses. Heck, there are some teams that have been surprises throughout this season, but none of them have 1 loss except for the Cincinnati Bengals, who are well and truly the best team so far this season. That only loss they had was against the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Browns, they lost last week, but overall, their season has been a bit of a surprise. Going at 9-4 right now, they could still technically win this division. It would require a lot of help, but it could be done, and they want to be the team to do it today. The last time we met these two teams was back in Week 7 in a relatively back-and-forth affair for a good chunk of that game. And now we here at SVGN are hoping that we get another one from these two teams today. But of course, we have to look also at the future and what is ahead of us. And ahead of us, we've got some good stuff. And particularly when it comes to this division, well, things are going to be exciting. If you take a look at those standings, the Cincinnati Bengals, like I said, at 12-1. Cleveland technically the 3rd place team, but they're trailing right behind Baltimore, who's at 9-4. As well, and Pittsburgh, they can't win the division. They're at 7-6. But a win from Baltimore and Cleveland this week and a loss from Pittsburgh would eliminate the Steelers. I know a few of our viewers are definitely Steelers fans. Well, the Steelers are playing the Ravens, so if Cleveland wins and Baltimore wins, that is it for Pittsburgh's season. Meanwhile, if we look at the overall standings in the AFC, Cincinnati right now the 1 seed. They have pretty much got that locked up. If they win this game today, they will have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, regardless of what happens with Kansas City, Jacksonville, or the Jets, who are all division leaders. All of them at 9-4 alongside the Ravens and Browns, which is very fitting. Baltimore and Cleveland both trying to make sure their seasons stay alive. And then running up right behind everybody, you got the Colts, Texans, Steelers, and Patriots, all of whom could provide some interesting drama coming into the final 3 weeks of the season. But especially that Patriots team in the AFC East, that could be interesting. They can still technically win that division It would just require some help. A lot of help. But that is neither here nor there. How will these two teams do? What will be the shakeup to the playoffs, if any? I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding out. We're going to take a small break, and when we come back, we're going to bring you down to Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio, for the start of this game. And here we are, once again at Paycor Stadium. The Browns will call heads, and it is heads. And they will elect to return the ball. Evan McPherson will kick it off. Pierre Strong Jr. will be back to return for the Browns. He'll take it from about 2 yards deep in his own end zone. And Strong going to get up to about the 15. Let's take a look at this Cleveland Browns starting offense. Deshaun Watson in his 8th year out of Clemson, 3rd year with the Cleveland Browns. Pierre Strong Jr. lining up behind him to start at running back to replace the injured Jerome Ford. At the wide receiver positions, he's got Elijah Moore, Amari Cooper, and former Bronco Jerry Jeudy. David Njoku is the tight end for Cleveland. He's lining up on the line alongside Ethan Pocic, Joel Bentonio, Wyatt Teller, Jedrick Wills Jr., and Jack Conklin. Kevin Stefanski, the 5th year head coach, and the offense coordinator is Ken Dorsey in his 1st year. 1st and 10 for Cleveland. Watson going to hand this one off to Strong, and Strong only going to get about 4. Let's take a look at the Cincinnati Bengals defense. Trey Hendrickson, Sheldon Rankins, and B.J. Hill, the defensive linemen for the Bengals. At the linebacker positions, it's Jermaine Pratt, Mike Hilton, Logan Wilson, and Sam Hubbard. And then there is the secondary, which might be one of the most dangerous secondaries in the league. At the corners, you have Daxton Hill and Cam Taylor-Britt. And at the safety positions, Geno Stone and Von Bell. Lou Anarumo is the defensive coordinator for the Bengals and the special team coordinator. In his 22nd year at the position for Cincinnati, it's Darren Simmons. 2nd and 6 for Cleveland. Watson, play action, rolling to his right. Gonna throw this one for Jeudy, who's deep downfield. Jeudy into Cincinnati territory, still on his feet. Gonna get into the red zone, still going as he's finally taken down at about the 11.5. 1st and 10 for Cleveland in deep Cincinnati position. And Watson gonna get taken down by Jermaine Pratt. Great work by the linebacker there to break through for the loss of 7. Watson dropping back on shotgun. Gonna throw it to his right for Njoku. And he's gonna get a good amount of yardage, 12 yards. But still 3rd and 5. Watson in shotgun formation. Looking for an open man. Gotta find somebody. Throwing for Njoku, but can't quite connect with him. Incomplete. So the Browns will be going for a field goal. Dustin Hopkins will be kicking this from 24 yards out. Kick on the way. And it's good. So the Browns strike first, 3-0. And back to return this one will be Chase Brown for the Bengals. He'll take it from about the 1-yard line. Brown going to get taken down by the Browns at the 16. Let's take a look at the Bengals starting offense. Joe Burrow in his 5th year out of LSU. He is a very dependable quarterback for Cincinnati this year and potentially in the running for MVP. Zach Moss, the running back for Cincinnati, also in his 5th year out of college. At the wide receiver positions, you have Andre Yoshivas, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. Mike Gesicki is the tight end for Cincinnati. He's lining up on the line alongside Ted Karras, Cordell Volson, Alex Kappa, Orlando Brown Jr., and Trent Brown. Zach Taylor is the 6th year head coach for the Bengals, led them to their Super Bowl appearance back in Super Bowl 56, and the offensive coordinator is Dan Pitcher. A very unfitting name for a football coach. 1st and 10 for Cincinnati. Burrow dropping back, looking and throwing for Yoshivas, but it's incomplete. Taking a look at the Cleveland Browns starting defense. That defensive line has Myles Garrett, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Shelby Harris, all three of which can be very dangerous, not to mention the linebacking core of Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Greg Newsome II, Jordan Hicks, and Zadarius Smith. At the corners, you got Martin Emerson Jr. and Denzel Ward, and at the safety positions are Juan Thornhill and Grant Delpit. Jim Schwartz, the second-year defensive coordinator for Cleveland, and the second-year special teams coordinator is Ray Ventrone. 2nd and 10 for Cincinnati on their own 16-yard line. Moss going to get the toss, and he's got the first down as he gets to about the 31, it looks like. 1st and 10 for Cincinnati there. Burrow dropping back, gets it off in time to avoid being sacked by that defensive line that was busting through. Great work by the defense there. Burrow dropping back yet again. Gets this one off in time, trying to throw for Yoshivas, but incomplete. There were some white jerseys near there. Gotta look for the black jerseys. Both teams wear orange helmets. A throw for Jamar Chase. Does he have it? I think he does. I think he had more than enough. He did. 1st down for Cincy. 1st and 10 for the Bengals. Burrow dropping back, tries to run forward. Shelby Harris there to take him down. Told you that defensive line can be a threat. 2nd and 14. Burrow dropping back. Gonna try and get this one off for Chase yet again, but can't connect with him. So 3rd and 14. On the 37, it looks like, and an incomplete screen pass. Looks like they weren't quite on the same page there. And so Ryan Rakow, the rookie punter out of BYU, will punt this off, and Elijah Moore will be back to return this. He'll take it from the 8, it looks like. And he's going to get taken down at the 22. 1st and 10 for Cleveland. Browns team that really can be a threat if you underestimate them. Watson going to throw this one for Jerry Jeudy, who's deep downfield. He dives for it, getting back up, and he's still running, and he's finally taken down just outside the red zone at the 21. More like 20 and a half, but 21, they'll call it. A throw for Elijah Moore, incomplete. Watson going to hand this one off to Pierre Strong Jr. And he's not going to get too far. 3rd and 7. Watson hands it off to Strong yet again. Strong zigging and zagging, and he's taken down at the 10 for the 1st down. In his 3rd year out of South Dakota State, Jackrabbits are always a threat in the FCS playoffs. And Njoku's attempted catch does not get caught. So 2nd and 10 for Cleveland. Watson handing it off to Strong yet again. And he will run it up to the 1. And that is where we have 3rd down now. 3rd and goal at the 1, and he's in for the touchdown. The Cleveland Browns get the first touchdown of the day alongside the first strike of points of the day. And Hopkins' kick on the way is through. 10-0 Browns. Hopkins kicking it off for Brown to return it from about the 8-yard line, and he's down at the 16. 1st and 10 for Cincinnati there. They're already trailing by double digits. A throw for Jamar Chase, diving for it, but can't quite get his hands on it. Well, he got his hands on it, but couldn't quite haul it in. 2nd and 10. Burrow going to hand this to Moss yet again. And Moss got the first down, still going, and past the 40, still on his feet. He keeps breaking tackles. Look at this man go as he's finally taken down at the 39 of the Browns. Amazing run there by Moss. And they're going to toss it to Moss. He's going to run it along the far sideline, still going, and he's down at the 21. Zach Moss, by the way, cousin to former NFL wide receiver Santana Moss. No relation to Randy, though, as far as I know, as T. Higgins going to get this touchdown catch No one relative to T. Higgins other than T. Higgins and his own family, as he's going to get it on the board for Cincinnati. And Evan McPherson's kick on the way is through. We got a 10-7 game here. And Pierre Strong Jr. will be back to return it. This will be the last thing we see in the first quarter before we go to the second quarter. And Strong Jr. going to get taken out at the 15 while the Browns have a 3-point lead. First and 10, Cleveland. Watson going to try and run forward with this one. Getting it off for Judy, but it can't quite connect with him. Incomplete. Looks like that pass might have been broken up there. Second and 10. Watson looking for somebody open. Throws for Amari Cooper, but incomplete. Amari Cooper, a great weapon for Cleveland. I can imagine they would never want to part with somebody like him. Handoff to Pierre Strong Jr. as he's taken down at about the 21. And the Browns only getting enough to punt it. And the punt by Corey Bajorquez, caught by Charlie Jones at the 21. He's taken down to the 26 here. So first and 10 for Cincinnati. Burrow looking and throwing for Higgins. And Higgins deep downfield enough that he is going to get some separation, where he's taken down at the 43. Maybe 44. Still in Browns territory, though. As Burrow dropping back on this first and 10. Nearly... Oh, it is blocked! And incomplete. I thought he got it off in time, but no, it looks like he did, in fact, get it blocked. By Myles Garrett, of all people. Throw for Chase. He's got it! Wall in coverage, too. But not quite enough to get the first down. Third and 1. Burrow, toss for Moss. And he's taken down 2 yards back behind the line of scrimmage. So they're going to go for Evan McPherson to make this a 54-yarder. This is going to be a long one. Kick on the way. It's through. Evan McPherson, an amazing kicker for Cincinnati since he arrived here 4 years ago from Florida. And Pierre Strong going to take this one from about a yard and a half back in his own end zone, down at the 12. First and 10, Browns. Man in motion for Watson. Looking for an open man. Plenty of time. Throwing for Njoku. He's got this one easy on the check down. Didn't look like there was a lot of separation between the wide receivers, but David Njoku very wide open. That's the point of the tight end there. And Strong going to fight for some extra yardage here, but only gets about 3. Second and 7. Watson hands it off to Strong yet again, running along the far sideline, and he's taken down, but not before getting the first down and a couple of bits extra. Watson in shotgun formation. Looking and throws for Jerry Jeudy deep, but incomplete. Looks like a bit of an overthrow there by Watson. Surprising mistake. Second and 10. Hand off to Strong. Doesn't get too far on that one. So, third and 8 following the 2-yard run. Watson going to play action. Roll to his right. Got to get it off for somebody here. Throwing downfield for Jerry Jeudy. And he is gone. Touchdown, Browns. And the Battle of Ohio 2 for this year is going strong for both teams. The Browns, once again, take the lead here. Hopkins kick on the way. It's through. 17-10 is the score here. So they will kick it off. And Chase Brown going to take it out to about the 8-yard line. Looked like he was about 3 or 4 yards back. First and 10. Burrow going to run forward, but he's found Jordan Hicks with the sack. You cannot underestimate, even for a split second, this Browns defensive line or their linebackers. But you can't underestimate the throw for T. Higgins here. Higgins wide open. He's got the defense coming up on him, but he's still got plenty of separation to get into the red zone and down at the 16-yard line of the Browns. One deep bomb from Joe Burrow is all they need. Hand it off to Moss, who gets only about 2 yards on that one. Second and 8. Men in motion for Cincinnati. Burrow dropping back. Throws it out of bounds. Looks like he didn't like the way things looked. 3rd and 8. Man in motion in front of Burrow. Looking and throwing for Moss yet again, but incomplete again. So they're going to go for the field goal to at least get some points on the board. McPherson's kick on the way, and it is through. So 17-13 is our score here. But this is very clearly still anybody's game. Browns wanting to make things a little bit tougher for Cincinnati going into the playoffs. Strong going to get to about the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 for Cleveland. Browns also want to keep their own playoff hopes alive. Is Strong going to take this along the near sideline. Got the first down easily. And taken down at about the 28. And that's where Cleveland's going to call their first timeout. With 51 seconds to go in this first quarter. Men in motion. Watson hands it off to Strong yet again. But he doesn't get very far. Only gains 2 yards. And they're going to call their second timeout with 40 seconds to go now. Watson hands it off to Strong yet again. Strong going to fumble the ball. Goes into the hands of Mike Hilton. And just like that, Cincinnati has a chance to take the lead. Or they're going to go for the field goal, actually. That might be the smarter move here. McPherson kick on the way. Nearly blocked, but it is through. And now it's a 1-point game. Good work with how little time they had left. And the Bengals will be receiving it at halftime. As Strong going to get taken down at the 11. That's where we're going to do it for this first half of play. 17-16. Browns have the lead. Very close game. As they want to prevent Cincy from locking up the AFC North. At the very least, prevent them from doing so this week. Don't forget to tune in on Saturday for our second of our Week 16 Games of the Week. A battle between two NFC divisional leaders as Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints travel up to historic Lambeau Field to take on Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. That's all coming up for you this week here on SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network. And so Cincinnati's got Brown back to return this one. A reminder, the Bengals have already locked up a playoff spot, so even if they lose out, they will still be going on to play postseason football. Burrow got a man in motion, throwing this one to his right for Moss, but it's incomplete. Really, they're just trying to get as high of a seed as possible now. Burrow going to hand this off to Moss, and he's only going to get about 2. 3rd and 8. Defense is holding right now. Burrow dropping back. Going to try and run forward with it, but he's wrapped up. Trying to fight for it, but Greg Newsome finally takes him down. And so, the Bengals will be forced to punt the ball. Rakow's punt. And Elijah Moore will be back to return Rakow's punt from about the 28-yard line. And going to get past the 45, down at the 47. 1st and 10. Watson handing off to Strong. And Strong going to get the first down. Just barely, but enough at first down. 1st and 10 yet again for Cleveland. Watson handing it off to Strong yet again. And Strong only gets about 3 yards. 2nd and 7. Watson in shotgun formation. And he's going to get taken down by Sam Hubbard. That secondary might be the bread and butter of the Bengals, but you cannot forget about Sam Hubbard. Watson in shotgun formation yet again. Looking for an open man. Throwing for Jerry Jeudy. He's got the first down. That gets him into very easy field goal range at the very least. Man in motion for Cleveland. Watson going to try and run forward with this one. And Watson going to get taken down. If I recall, last time we saw these Browns on the Game of the Week, they lost to the Steelers. Steelers still looking to try and get into the playoffs too. A throw for Amari Cooper is incomplete. Now there looked to be a Bengal nearby. So good thing that did not connect with him either. Watson looking and throwing, but it's deflected and incomplete. Looks like that was going to be a screen pass. So they're going to go with a field goal. Dustin Hopkins to kick this one from 41 yards out on the way. And it's in. 20-16. And now, since he gets another chance after a less than successful first drive for the half, Brown going to run along the near sideline with this one, taken down finally at the 34. And Burrow going to, on his first play for the drive, throw it for Yoshibas, who's got it. A little bit ahead of him, but he got a hold of it. And he's taken down at about the 39 of the Browns. First and 10 in Cleveland territory. Burrow dropping back. Plenty of open space to throw for T. Higgins, who dives for it. He's got this one easily. He's got it a first and goal situation now. On the 7-yard line. Burrow to hand it off to Moss. Breaking a tackle, and he's in. Touchdown, Bengals. You know, a lot of people were worried that in the offseason, with the loss of Joe Mixon to the Texans, this Cincinnati running game would get weaker. But Moss has been showing some talent. And so Strong Jr. will take this back from about a yard back in his own end zone. Gonna get up to the 16-yard line before he's taken down there. First and 10 Browns. As they now trail for the first time today, is Watson gonna get taken down by Trey Hendrickson. Like I said, don't underestimate that defensive line for Cincinnati. They may not be the specialty for their defense, but they are pretty good. The Strong Jr. going to get taken down behind the line of scrimmage there. 3rd and 19. Handoff to Strong. Strong cutting back. Cut quite a few times, actually, but not able to get very far enough. So here's the Bajorquez punt. Charlie Jones will take this one back from about the 28, it looks like. And he's going to get down at the 38. So 10-yard return with less than 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Burrow in shotgun, looking for an open man. Going to try and throw it to his right for Jamar Chase, who's wide open now. He's going to keep on running, and he's down about the 15-yard line. That's where this new set of downs will start for Cincinnati. Burrow going to try and run forward, fighting for extra yardage, but Myles Garrett says, no, you will not. And down at the 21, we see Burrow hand it off to Moss, as he only gets about 3 on that one. 3rd and 11. Burrow dropping back. Going to try and run forward, but Myles Garrett there yet again with another sack. Myles Garrett has been terrorizing the AFC North quarterbacks since he got into this league. McPherson kick on the way is good. And with that, it is a 6-point lead for Cincinnati. Strong will be back to return this one. He probably won't be able to start the drive in the third quarter. In fact, he will not. That's where we're going to end the third quarter. 1st and 10 for Cleveland on their own 21 as we start the fourth quarter. Watson handing it off to Strong. And he's only going to get about 2. They need a touchdown to take the lead. A field goal could help them out a little bit, but not enough. Toss for Njoku. And he's going to get the first down easily. He gets into Cincinnati territory, followed after that. Down at the 42, finally. 1st and 10 for Cleveland. Watson hands off for Strong. And he's going to get taken down after a gain of 4. 2nd and 6 now. Watson looking for an open man. Gonna throw this one, but it's deflected! And it's incomplete. Like that was heading leftward, but hard to tell. Watson gonna try and run forward with it. And he's gonna take it himself. He's got the first down easily. Gained a little bit more than he needed to. He's down at the 29. Watson hands it off. No, play action. He fooled me. Throw for Jerry Jeudy. He's deep into the end zone, but can't quite get a hold of it before he's out of bounds. 2nd and 10 with just over 6 minutes to go. Hand off to Strong. Strong running along the far side, down at about the 24-yard line. 3rd and 6. Watson hands it off to Strong. This time it actually is a handoff. But he does not get too far. Only gets about 5. And they will go for the field goal. This would be from about 42 yards out. Hopkins' kick on the way is good. And they're down by 3 now. And they're going to go for a regular deep kick. So they have to rely on that defense now. Needs to hold to keep this lead, to get the chance to take the lead, or at the very least tie. It'll be 1st and 10 for Cincinnati on their own 25-yard line. Burrow dropping back. Going to throw this one over the middle, incomplete. Andre Yoshivas was there, but so were a few Browns players on the defense. Burrow running out of time. A throw for Gesicki is picked off! And that's Denzel Ward taking it along the near sideline down at the 19. And Cleveland's defense comes through. Handoff to Strong. Strong running along the near sideline. And he's down at the 9. Did he get it? No, he's just short. But either way, this game is still open. Watson handing it off for Strong. And Strong is going to be just short of the end zone. Down at the 2. So 1st and goal there. Watson handing it off to Strong, and he's in! Touchdown, Cleveland! And with that, they take a 3-point lead. It'll be 4 points if the extra point goes through, which it should, but stranger things have happened. We've had teams miss them before. But it is through. 30-26. So now Cincinnati is the one who needs to score a touchdown to take the lead. As Brown going to take this from about 2 yards back in his own end zone. Getting up to about the 12 and down to the 12. 1st and 10 for Cincinnati to start there. Burrow handing it off for Moss. Moss running along the near sideline. Got the 1st down and still more. He finds an open hole thanks to a good block. And he's down at the 49. Just outside midfield. 1st and 10. Burrow dropping back. Looking for an open T. Higgins, and he's wide open. Can he? Could he? Will he? He will! He reached for it, and the ball crosses the plane. And just like that, Cincinnati scores what they need to. But Cleveland will still have some time to, at the very least, kick a field goal to tie this. 33-30. Strong back to return this one. And he'll take it from the 6. And he gets up to the 14. Breaks a tackle. Down at about the 18. 1st and 10 for Cleveland there. They need to hurry it up. Man in motion for Cleveland. Watson gonna try and throw it to his left for Amari Cooper. It's picked off! That's Geno Stone, who might have just saved the game for the Bengals! 1st and 10 for Cincinnati. Burrow tries to throw this one, throws it out of bounds, but it does not matter in that case. They're within relatively good field position to at least go up by 6. A throw for Yoshivas, who needs to go up 6 when you can go up 10. And that might have just put this game away. I'm sure they're readying the champagne and the AFC North champion t-shirts in the Bengals locker room now. And you can tell this Bengals fans crowd is going to go crazy once the final gun sounds. Oh, Cleveland, 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 Cleveland. You did so well. You got to give credit to this Browns team. They did amazingly today, but it just was not enough. This Bengals team is too strong. The reason they're favorites, a throw for Amari Cooper. He fumbles it, but he fumbles out of bounds. There's a reason the Cincinnati team is a favorite to go to the Super Bowl. Watson going to hand this off to Strong Jr. Tries to fight for it, but can't quite. They're going to call their first timeout. Not that it matters, because they might only have time for one play left. Watson, play action, rolling to his right, gonna throw this one for Pierre Strong Jr. They're just playing for pride at this point, but it will not matter. The Cincinnati Bengals are your AFC North champions in the year 2024. How about that? Congratulations to Cincinnati for locking up that division. And so taking a look at the AFC North standings at 13-1, perfect in the conference, perfect in the division. Cincinnati clinching the AFC North. Meanwhile, the Browns dropping to 9-5, half a game behind the Ravens. This was a tough one, I can definitely tell you that much. This was exciting to watch from just a spectator's perspective. Taking a look, though, at the full AFC playoff picture, though, Cincinnati not just locking up the AFC North, but locking up home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They are now 2.5 games ahead of the Chiefs. They're now 3.5 games ahead of the Chiefs, Jaguars, and Jets. We're in that three-way tie for the 2 seed. The Chiefs having also already locked up their playoff position, being the AFC West champions. And meanwhile, Cleveland at 9-5 now make themselves vulnerable to being eliminated. Maybe not this week. They're still ahead, but over the next few weeks, they control their own destiny still. But Indianapolis, Houston, and Pittsburgh all licking their chops at a chance to try and steal that playoff spot from them. Cleveland, if the season were to end today, right now would be playing Jacksonville. This will be exciting to watch for the rest of this, for what little remains of this regular season. And that's going to do it for us today. A reminder to tune in on Saturday for our second of our 2 games of the week for this week between the Saints and the Packers. And then to tune in on Monday for our Tecmo Rewind for Week 16. For all of us here at SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network, I'm your host, Joe, saying good night, everybody!